Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
And we're here to chat a little soccer. We had to take some time off. Life has been a little crazy. But we're back to talk a little Premier League, talk a little bit of the FA Cup.
What the what?
What the what? The FA Cup? What?
Two.
It's
back.
Part two.
I had enough. I had enough league places, and I had enough upsets and draws and all of that to do it. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to do it again, but there was enough in the what was the round 4?
Yeah,
the round 4 proper.
So, but that's not now. Now is beer. Ron's got beer from around the world. He's changing it up a little bit. Yeah. Not going domestic like he has been for the last past year.
Have I done a single domestic beer?
New Zealand beer,
Yeah.
Iceland beer. We've had it all.
Well, what a first world problem to have.
Absolutely.
Beer from around the world. Okay, so this one is no different. It's another beer from around the world. It's another brewing company from New Zealand.
Jackie Pendergrass hanging out again.
Jackie Pendergrass.
Yep. He found his way.
New Zealand's beer sales spiked while Ron was there.
I bought so much beer. I told you guys, I brought a whole another suitcase of beer home. So the U.S. doesn't have, a tax or a limit on the beer you bring back. So as long as you bring bottles back in your carry-on, that's not like 30 bottles of the same beer, because then you're kind of importing. They'll probably tax you for that. But as long as most of them are all different beers, they don't care a lick.
That's good to know.
America.
Yep. So I brought a bunch. Anyway, so this one is from Moa Brewing Company in Marlborough, New Zealand.
Marlborough, New Zealand.
Marlborough.
Yeah. I said that with a very Yankee American accent, Marlborough. It is the wine capital of New Zealand, and it's in the South Island. This guy who was a winemaker by trade ended up moving around New Zealand, went back to Marlborough, and he was so put off and unsatisfied by the beer offerings in Marlborough.
Good for him.
That he opened up his own brewing company, which is
door in
MOA or Moa Brewing. And he opened it up with a buddy of his who's the head brewer. His name is David Nichols. And they opened their brewing company in 2003, which they've been pumping out great beers ever since. And a fun fact is that the founder of Moa Brewing Company, his name is Josh Scott. He is the only Cicerone in the entirety of New Zealand.
Oh, that's cool.
I love that on my sandwich.
Do you know what a Cicerone is, Ferris?
No, I don't.
Do it.
It's like a sommelier for wine.
Yeah, but it's beer.
Right.
Oh,
Where I used to live
I didn't know that.
in the Lidditz, PA, they made the bartenders get their Cicerone.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Whatever certification or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. So this guy is the only one in the entirety of the country.
See, I mean, that's smart. You move to a small country like New Zealand, and you go, what's something that doesn't exist yet? I'm just going to learn that and be the expert in
Right, because they have tons of sommeliers there, so
Yeah.
let's get something completely on the opposite side of the spectrum there. Yeah, I like that.
So I bring to you the finest beer, judged the finest beer in the entirety of the country. It has won the Brewers Championship in New Zealand for 2018. It has also won the World Brewing Awards trophy for Best in Class in 2018. Gentlemen, I bring you the Southern Alps White IPA.
What? Dude.
Not the Northern Alps, the Southern Alps.
Oh, this is
damn.
a
Wait,
bottle.
Holy mackerel.
Are we splitting this? Is that
yeah,
how
we're
this
splitting.
Okay,
because
I was going to him and me. I was like, oh my God.
I didn't bring 4 of them.
I was like, we're not going to make it very long at this point.
Although, Ron, do you remember when we were in Alaska and we mistakenly ordered the Morningwood beer and we thought we were getting just like a single like glass, like a single pint, and it was
a 750 milliliter bottle.
And we didn't realize it. We each bought one.
It didn't say it on the menu.
No, it didn't.
Amazing.
So the Southern Alps White IPA is 6.4 ABV. And it's brewed with Vienna and pale wheat malts, dry hopped with a blend of Nelson's Swoven and Citra hops, giving a strong citrus and lemongrass aroma. The use of Belgian ale yeast and coriander for spicing gives the beer complexity and depth of flavor. The perfect marriage between a Belgian wit and an IPA.
That sounds like that could potentially be my favorite beer I've ever had. Because I love a Belgian wit.
Yes, you do.
And I love a good IPA. So if this
Like a mix
is a mix of the two,
that's cool.
do you want me to you want me to pass these glasses to you, Ron, or you want me to divvy these out?
Either way you want.
You just don't want to use the cool new bottle opener that Ferris's mom got.
I'll do it. Give me that damn thing.
Oh Lord!
It's all right.
It
5
worked
minutes.
flawlessly last time.
5 minutes later.
Cover your eyes.
Yeah, don't jam it, and then you know. Yay!
Hey!
Suck it, Trebek.
That's actually a beer we need to try.
In Ivanhoe Park, Ivanhoe Park Brewing has it.
So yeah, these guys seem really cool. There's a nice fun history about their brewing company. Go to moabeer.com, MOABEER.com, and you can read all about it. They have a whole bunch of different beers. When you go on there, they have them all broken down into the classic range, which is basically the classic styles that they do. A reserve range, which are, obviously they're
But I used at the bottom, buddy.
Yep.
Some of that good stuff.
limited releases. My least favorite, sour beers. And then,
Oh, yeah, I still got to do that on a show. I got one waiting for
whatever. And then, they also make their own ciders. So this is a pretty slick little brewing company. And this should be a pretty phenomenal beer.
It went fancy with some IPA glasses.
Ooh.
Or I guess we could have done like wit beer glasses for these.
I'm looking forward to this. Look how cloudy that is.
Oh,
All the
what a-
sediment.
Oh, this smells like a wit more than it smells like an IPA.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yep. So,
man.
again, they said the perfect marriage between
Get this one on our Untapped.
a Belgian wit and an IPA. Ooh,
You're going to need to rate this one. All right.
it smells
James,
amazing.
here we
Looking
go.
forward to this.
Cheers.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, where'd Ferris go?
Hold on, Jess. With our new mic setup, I had to.
Holy mother of Pete.
Man, the only problem with this Moa beer is you want some Moa.
Oh my God.
The dad jokes are supposed to be at the end of the podcast.
I know, right?
Got to make up for time
Folks,
lost.
we still have to talk about soccer, so don't turn us off quite yet.
Wow.
Pete has a good
I'm
mother.
gonna
That's
sound
good stuff.
like a D bag, but the floral notes on this are amazing, and I mean it. Like,
Wow.
this is. Oh my gosh, this is easily one of the best beers we've had.
Easily, yeah. A perfect blend.
It's
They're
like
right.
it is up front a straight Belgian wit that slaps you with the hop at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but it's all Belgian wit and the smell with the coriander and the orange peel
Yeah.
coming forward, and then boom.
Yeah, that hop in the
Usually,
back.
Yeah, that's
I've had some blends that are like, you can't usually taste both styles so clearly.
Yeah.
You can distinctly taste the two.
Yes. Without a harsh middle taste. It
My
blends
gosh.
No,
very
it does, yeah.
flawlessly into one another.
I need this in my life. This needs to make it to the States. Good gosh.
it blends to where you're not. It's not an immediate impact on one, immediate impact on two. It just flows, but you can taste, and it's a wit, and then it flows nicely into the back end with the IPA.
It's like a 2-for-1 beer.
Right.
Like,
But it's not like a mean, like just
Yeah. It's,
Like-
it's not that it doesn't fit. It complements.
yeah. You're not doing
It's
any
a
of that.
smooth transition.
Exactly.
It's got a very light head on it, which is very IPA. And the other part that's interesting is that it's such a clean finish, and there's not a lot of flavor left over at the end.
Just a little bit of bitterness in the back of the tongue.
So good.
Yeah, just a little bit. That's it.
Oh man. Well done, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Moa Brewing Company.
Moa.
When your fridge empties, you're going to have to go back to New Zealand.
I know, right?
So does this bring us to
What the what? It's the FA Cup.
Part 2. Sunday.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, no, I can't do that whole.
So the rules are.
So if you remember from our What the What, it's the FA Cup, the first edition with the third round proper. This is the fourth round proper version of this. Not quite as many games here, but so the rules are as such. Ferris will read out the teams in the scoreline. Ferris will ask, what league do you think X is in?
That is either the Premier League, the Championship League, League 1, 2, and then the National League?
Correct.
Right? Okay.
Those are the top five flights
yeah,
of English football. Ferris will then ask, well, what's the difference in the number of league places between the two teams? Closer to the number gets the point. 1 point for each correct answer. So 1 point essentially for what league is a specific team in, and then 1 point to closer of the league places on against who they played.
How far apart they are.
Correct. Okay. Ron, I believe, won the last round. I don't remember the exact score, but Ron did win. So, Blake, you might have some catching up to do. So, again, the leagues are Premier League, it's the top flight. Championship, which is the second league. League 1, not to be confused.
Because it's actually League 3.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's actually League 3. League 2, which is actually the fourth league. And then the National League, which is the fifth. Five professional tiers in English football.
So the National League doesn't play baseball?
No, but they do play the American Rugby League every now and again. And then, anyways, the Premier League is the only league that has 20 teams. All other leagues have 24 teams. So something to keep in mind as we play this game. Gentlemen, are you ready?
A lot of quick math. I'm ready.
A lot of quick math. Now, also, a lot of these, in terms of the places of the teams I'm going to read off, are places that they were prior to the midweek games that occurred in the Premier League this week. So just keep that in mind as well. First game had Accrington Stanley against Derby County. Gentlemen, what league is Accrington Stanley in?
How do you say that? Accrington?
Accrington Stanley.
Accrington Stanley is in League 2.
Ron?
Championship.
You both are incorrect. Oh. They are in League 1, the third tier of English football.
This game is rigged.
You won last game.
Oh, right. This is a great game.
So the score was Accrington Stanley actually lost this game 0-1. However, it took it until the 78th minute for there to be a goal and for Derby County to put away Accrington Stanley. Derby County, gentlemen, is in the championship. What is the difference in the number of league places between Accrington Stanley and Derby County?
Derby is in, you didn't say what league they're in.
They're in the championship.
They're in the championship. Okay, they're in the championship. They're in the third. They're in League 2, you said, for Accrington. So I'm going to say, gosh, that's really far down, isn't it? So there's 24 minutes. 49.
Ron?
26.
Ron gets the point.
Oh, they were
34 league places was the difference. So Ron, you get the first point on the board tonight. Moving on to the next game.
Dun, dun, dun.
But a very good...
I like Derby County. I like their little sheep logo.
And do you know who is the head coach of Derby County? Ron should know this one.
Is that...
He's been with them, I think, since the beginning of the year. Frankie Lampard.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And he has Derby County all the way up in 6th in the championship right now. And Accrington Stanley are 15th in League 1. So... but a very good run by Accrington Stanley. Like I said, it took 78 minutes of this game for Waghorn to put the Rams ahead. But Accrington Stanley definitely gave up a good fight. And that was only actually after an Accrington Stanley red card. So, but they go out in the fourth round. Next game, Doncaster Rovers 2, Oldham Athletic 1. This will be a two-parter here. Or I'm sorry, a three-parter. So you have a potential of 3 points. Gentlemen, what league is Doncaster Rovers in?
League 2.
Ron?
National.
You both are incorrect. They are in League One.
Man, we're sucking on that. All right.
What league are Oldham Athletic in?
They're in Championship.
League One.
You both are incorrect. They are in League Two.
Dang it.
Samsonite.
Way off. Doncaster, again, they won 2-1 over Oldham. A couple of red cards, a penalty in this one, a very late penalty, actually, in the 90th minute to secure Doncaster Rovers the win at home. Gentlemen, what is the difference in... what?
So Oldham is in League 2.
Correct.
And Doncaster's League 1?
Correct.
Okay.
So the third and fourth tier. So third was playing for a fourth tier team. That makes sense?
So there could only be a max of 46 spots between them.
I'm going to go 24.
Okay. Ron?
13.
Blake was closest. 31 league spaces in between the two. Doncaster are currently 7th in League 1, and Oldham Athletic are currently 13th in League 2.
Good job.
So we're all tied up, gentlemen.
We need a theme song.
I know, right?
Portsmouth won, QPR won. Very good scoreline here for Portsmouth. What league, gentlemen, are Portsmouth in?
Portsmouth.
They're in Championship.
Ron?
Yeah, Championship.
You both are incorrect.
What the?
League 1?
And they are in League 1.
Do we stop? Is this the Disney? That's not Disney.
Yes, it is.
Michael Eisner owns it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
QPR, however, is in the Championship.
Yes.
That's what I was.
Right. Portsmouth and QPR years ago, both used to be in the Premier League. They've kind of worked their way down now. But a good result for the League 1 side as they force a replay, which will go to QPR in a week's time or something like that. So, gentlemen, what is the difference in the number of league places between the two?
Sorry, what leagues were they?
Portsmouth in League 1,
right.
QPR is in the Championship.
So, again, at the most, you can have like 46 or 46, yeah. I'm going to say 22.
John Raphael.
I'm going to say 28.
What was your 22? Blake, you were the closest. There's only 13 league places in between the two.
I mixed that up with the last one.
Yeah, you did. Because Portsmouth are second in League 1, and QPR are 14th in the Championship.
Yeah, Portsmouth could be back in the Premier League one day.
One day, yeah.
Michael Eisner's not just good at running Paramount and Disney.
That's true.
Yeah. Until they make it to the Premier League and they start making crappy sequels, then it all goes down.
Exactly. All right, moving along. Another draw. Middlesbrough won. Newport County won.
Smoggies, right? Smoggies?
That's not, no. Smoggies are some, who the hell
that was
Smoggies?
Middlesbrough.
Are they? No.
Yeah, Middlesbrough. They're the Smoggies. Because Ron did the research.
The history lesson.
When they were promoted.
Oh, yeah, you're right. All right. Just Smoggies.
The Smoggies.
So, a very, very good result here from an away team in Newport County in a 90+3 goal by Matthew Dolan to have a replay go back to Newport County. How cool is that? In about a week's time. Middlesbrough are in the Championship. What league are Newport County in?
League 2.
Ron?
League 1.
Blake is correct. God. They are in League 2.
I'm sucking at this placement.
3 points so far.
Up.
Yeah, you do. Okay. So, what is the difference in the number of league places between Middlesbrough and Newport County? Again, Middlesbrough are in the Championship and Newport County are in League 2.
So, League 1 in the middle with 24 slots. 60.
Ron?
38.
58. Blake was the close.
Damn it, man. You're all over this today.
Yeah, he is. You were only 2 away. I thought for a second there, I was like, wow, that's pretty close. 58. I believe that might be the highest that we have tonight. Or thereabouts. It's very close.
Did we have one last time? It was like 89.
Oh, yeah. It was something. I'm not, because we don't have one quite that high today. Okay, next game. Again, another draw, but a very, very good draw here. Shrewsbury Town, 2. Wolverhampton Wanderers, 2. a couple of goals here. And actually, Matthew Doherty had to score a really late goal for the Wolves, the 90+3 to draw them level and force a replay, which will be played at the Molyneux, and again, a week or two time. So we all know that Wolverhampton's in the Premier League. What league is Shrewsbury Town in?
Shrewsbury's in League One.
Ooh. Damn it. I'm going to say League Two.
Blake is correct.
God.
League One.
Bless America.
We're talking England here. So the Wolves, at the time of that these games are played, were 8th in the Premier League. I won't tell you what place Shrewsbury Town is that it was in League One, but what is the difference in the number of league places between the two?
So Premier League has 20.
That's right. Yes. Well, number of league places from the Premier League to League One. So how many, between
50.
Shrewsbury and 50? Ron?
31.
Blake is the closest.
Oh my.
55 places between the two. And they force a replay out of the 8th team in the Premier League. Shrewsbury Town were 18th, or are 18th in League One. So not the best by any stretch in League One, yet they force a very good replay against a Premier League side team. So moving along. Now we have a couple of upsets here towards the end.
This was awesome.
This was awesome. Sure. So, you were Millwall. 3. Everton, 2.
Ouch.
Really, really good game here from Millwall. They pretty much they ran this game almost the entire time. They had a really late goal, 90+4 to secure a win.
The stadium almost melted down.
Yeah. So cool. And it was played at Millwall. Gentlemen, what league is Millwall in?
I think they're League One.
Ron?
Lower than that.
Championship League.
And the comeback begins now. Ron is correct.
I did not
They
think
are
they
in
were
the championship. We all know Everton's in the Premier League. So what is the difference in the number of league places between the two?
When you did this, Everton was what, 11 or?
Yeah.
Right. Because you said it was prior to
Correct.
our current table.
So it's at least 9.
True.
I think it's higher than that. I'm going to say 29. I feel like Millwall's down there.
Okay. Ron?
30.
Gonna make up a new rule here.
What?
Blake guessed it exactly on at 29, so he gets a bonus point. For you were doing the Price is Right type game, though.
Yeah, I totally
was. So Blake gets 2 points on that one.
That's not fair.
I just made up a new rule. I made the rule to begin with. I can
What
make them up
happened
now.
when I guessed it on the nut last time?
I don't think you guessed. I don't know if anybody's guessed one
hit it.
exactly dead on. That's the first one we've had.
This
But
game is-
29
You didn't know
police
that
places.
rule has been existing.
Right.
You just didn't know it.
No. Yeah. Sure. Why not? 29 league places.
Typical from an offsides Manchester United fan.
You ain't cheating. You ain't trying. Millwall are currently 19th in the championship. They're in a bit of a relegation battle in the championship. And Everton, of course, at the time of this, were in 11th. I believe that they might be up higher now.
I got to look it up. Shook out.
29. Finally, the last one in what? It's the FA Cup. 2. Wimbledon. AFC Wimbledon, 4.
This was
West
so
Ham
cool.
United, 2.
Furthering my hypothesis that West Ham should have been the team to go down and get relegated. Because I just think they're not great.
And it's not like they didn't have people playing in this game either. Like they didn't play a full size squad, but they
Still.
and they AFC Wimbledon they went up 2-0 going into the half. Like they played very, very well. And you put four past any Premier League team. That is good stuff. Gentlemen, where is Wimbledon in the top five flights of English football?
Championship.
Ron?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, it's championship or League One, but it's championship. I'm convinced.
championship. So I can't go with yours.
I mean, you could. It would just be like,
I'm going to go with League One.
Ron is correct.
Oh,
they are in League One.
At least it's not a blowout. Shut up.
Okay, so what is the difference in the number of league places between AFC Wimbledon and West Ham United?
So Wimbledon's in League One. God, where was West Ham at this point? 14th, 15th? I don't know if they changed.
I don't know if they changed. I do have it, but I'm not going to share it at this time.
I would say, say 49.
Ron?
26.
Blake was the closest.
God,
59 places.
Oh, that was higher than the other one. You totally lied to us.
I said, no, I did
Lies.
not. I did not. I said it's in that ballpark. So one higher.
I think if you roll back the tape,
go ahead.
That we don't
Just
have.
Take your finger on your phone right now and scroll that bad boy
You will
back.
find that Ferris said 57. That's the highest one we've had.
Unless you're driving, don't do that.
Don't do that. Just talk to your phone and it'll do something for you.
Damn it.
AFC Wimbledon, very good cup run here because they are last in League One in 24th place.
Oh my God.
So
and they 4-2 beat West Ham.
And maybe yes, exactly.
West Ham to me is worse. To me, they bother me more than a Cardiff because who's playing on Cardiff? West Ham has people in these kind of games. I mean, it was Lucas Perez and Felipe Anderson. They got the goals in this. So
wouldn't you play your? I don't know who they started. West Ham. I don't know who they started, but wouldn't you start your actual starters?
Here's the thing: West Ham at the time that they played this were in 10th. Why wouldn't you go for a cup run? You're not going down.
Yeah,
correct.
So what's the fear there of not concentrating on the league? You're in 10th. You're sitting mid-table. Unless you completely bomb.
Yeah, go for it.
But yeah, go for a cup win. Try to win
You're
some
not
sort
getting
of
into
hardware
Europa.
there, some sort of silverware there.
Yeah.
And that's always the debate now with the FA Cup is teams, what kind of squads do they put out? But why wouldn't you want to win this tournament?
Right.
It is such a prestigious tournament and well known throughout the world.
Poch don't care.
They put out second side teams. And yes, Man City puts out a second side team, but their second side team is better than half of the first teams in the Premier League. So, but if you're not in a relegation battle, AFC Wimbledon are in one, and they're still going for a win here. So if you're not in a battle that's going to hurt your team, why not go for it?
Right. Start your starters and go for it.
What's our final score for today?
Oh,
a lot to a little. Damn it.
You got the last one right. I think Blake, you either had 9 or 10, and Ron only had 3. So Blake takes what? It's the FA Cup. 2. So I don't think we're gonna be able to do this for round 3. We might be able to. I'll see if I can scrounge together a few games depending on how resolved, because that would be the tiebreaker. But well done, gentlemen. And that brings us to what the FA Cup 5th round draw was. All of these games are set to be played on February 16th, so just a few weeks' time. The big one that came out of this is...
Are we sure that's the big one?
Hey, that's what she said. The first game, Chelsea and Manchester United, clash of the Premier League Titans, which is... Man United drew our Arsenal in the last round. Sorry, Blake. We dispatched them fairly easily. But I would much rather want to see Manchester United against like Doncaster or AFC Wimbledon. Not because we have a chance to beat them, but because AFC or Doncaster has a chance to upset a giant. They get more TV money. It can help their clubs more. So Chelsea and United, yes, it'll probably be a good game, and it's good for these teams to play. But you want to see like a Newport County go up and play Chelsea, or come to Newport County and bring cash to their hometown and their stadium. Yeah, exactly.
Or even better, Shrewsbury.
So yeah, still probably be a good game, but nonetheless, Doncaster Rovers will take on Crystal Palace. Swansea City will take on either Barnet or Brentford. That'll be determined obviously after their replay.
That sounds like two guys in the rowing club. Barnet or Brentford.
Right. Brentford. What do you think about the latest Brexit poll?
AFC Wimbledon will take on Millwall. Middlesbrough or Newport County will take on Manchester City. Really hoping that's Newport County.
Yeah.
That'd be
be a fun
awesome.
one.
Yeah. And I believe if it is Newport County, they would be the home team. So how cool would that be?
Yep.
Portsmouth will take on either Queen's Park Rangers, QPR, or Watford. Bristol City will take on either Shrewsbury or Wolverhampton Wanderers. And then lastly, Brighton and Hove Albion will take on either West Brom or Derby County. So some good matchups coming here a few weeks' time on February 16th for the FA Cup 5th round.
And I think a lot of these games could go either way, which is
Agreed.
pretty
Yeah.
exciting.
Agreed. I'm hoping Shrewsbury, Newport County, AFC one of those teams can pull out a upset and get to the 6th round. How cool would that be?
That'd be so much fun.
Well
Boom.
done, gentlemen.
Good one. What the what?
It's the FA Cup.
Part 2.
Yes.
Well done.
Time to move to some Premier League.
Premier League.
What did you say?
Premier League.
Premier League.
It's Premier League match week 24.
Oh my God. And what a crazy week.
Yes, it was.
Oh God. I still have heartburn.
First up, we have Arsenal hosting Cardiff, and it's a get the job done kind of match. It's Cardiff.
Yeah.
Arsenal should win.
And it takes them to the 66th minute to break the deadlock.
Aubameyang penalty.
Yeah, Lacazette had a good game too.
He did. He got the second goal, yeah.
That goal where he just ran on his own.
Those two play so well together. It's fun to watch them play.
The biggest
Agreed.
problem is the prior match that Arsenal had where they lost more defenders.
Yeah, it was
Socrates
in
and
the United game that they lost.
Yes, they lost Socrates and Bellerin.
Yeah.
And one's out for a month. I don't know. It's a mess.
Bellerin's out for the year, unfortunately. That was a few games back, and then Socrates
is
was
like a
out.
month.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And the weird thing is didn't you guys bring in Dennis Suarez on loan?
Yeah.
Okay, last I checked, he doesn't have CB or RB next to the position
No,
that he
he's
plays.
just a winger that was available. It's because they want to buy him for next year. It's with an option to buy. That's what that's about.
Man, who's gonna be? Is Xhaka gonna be playing back there again in the back line? Torreira? I mean,
Hey, look at this point. Just
add
be,
Peter Cech out there.
just
Just
be
playing the back
Liverpool
line.
from 3 years ago. Score.
Yeah.
Don't and just know that you're going to get scored on.
Yeah, there was a rumor, and I don't think it actually went through, and maybe somebody checked this, but they were looking at Ivan Perisic from Inter and Croatia. But I don't think that actually went through. He handed in a transfer request, but I don't think the fees and all of that matched up. And then there was something that I saw yesterday, not Yannick Bolasie, Carrasco. I think he's playing in China right now. Possibility.
Oh, that was one they were going
right,
after.
but I don't think that went through either. So I think it was only Dennis Suarez that you guys brought through.
Yeah.
But again, doesn't have CB by the position that he plays, and that's
I like
what you guys
him
need.
as a pickup for next year. I mean,
Yeah,
if they're going to hold on to him.
with the option to buy, and it's.
I don't think you can fix the defense, but so much right now. So I'm with it. If you can
But
score
you
a
have to
bunch,
add something to it because it's not even you have to fix it. It's who's going to play it. You need bodies just to be back there right now. You have Leitsteiner.
we got under 21s. We got under 18s.
Sure.
Well, hey,
We'll keep digging.
hey,
Sure.
his wounded, injured, limping, minus the hair gel defense is so horribly depleted. They are still playing better than
Fourth place.
but
the
all-
Chelsea starters.
Right, but all of those points were gained in the beginning of the year, and Chelsea's still tied on points, and United's hot on the tail. So if they start to ship goals more than they score goals, that 4, 5, 6 could start changing around quick. So there's still a lot of games to be played.
Did you say they were going to goals?
I did not.
Ship them.
I did not say we were going to goals.
What did you say?
Ship goals.
Oh,
But I should have said goals because that's more fun.
I was like,
The ball runs through the net.
Yeah. I think it's going to be fun and okay. I think it will be fun to watch because I think it'll open it up because literally they are just going to have to go score. They got no defense.
true.
Again, Liverpool like 3 years ago. Just go and score.
So Blake, do you want to read your headline there?
The Arsenal, the dynamic duos strike to get the W.
So I did that.
Huh?
The Arsenal of the dynamic duo.
The Arsenal of the dynamic duo strike to get the W. I don't get it. The dynamic duo was Batman and Robin. Arsenal is the sidekick of Green Arrow.
Is it? I don't know. I just mix everything. They're both DC though.
Yeah,
they're both DC. Are they?
I don't even know.
I was going for some sort of comic book.
I loved it.
So
I loved it.
worked.
No, I think it's great.
It's way better than I could have done.
The next game, I'm really, really happy for Fulham. I am so happy that they got a win in this and a come from behind win. They beat Brighton and Hove 4-2 at home. A Mitrovic double. They needed this so bad.
They did. That's a sad statement, what you just said, though.
I know.
Come from behind win against Brighton Hove Albion.
Right,
That they
right.
needed so bad.
They needed it, though.
Yeah,
and, I mean, they're still in the bottom. They're still down there in 19th on 17 points. But some sort of momentum, and this will help.
They're screwed because Burnley ain't going down. They got Peter Crouch, y'all.
They do have Peter Crouch now.
He's kicking robots over. Like,
and if you had not had a chance, I replied to the to what Horn had tagged us in. I said, if you did not get a chance, Peter Crouch's podcast, I think it's just called the Peter Crouch Podcast, which is put on by BBC 5 Live, is fantastic. It is basically us, but with accents, a lot less talented, and a lot more. Or they're a lot more talented and a lot more funnier than us. It's basically three guys, one of which being Crouch.
I love Peter Crouch.
Kind of like me, just tall, gangly. And then two other guys, and then they'll be sitting in a bar, or they'll be sitting like in his hotel room on an away game, just asking him questions. And there's always a topic of each pod.
We got to get on that show.
It's so good,
know, right?
It's so good. So like one topic will be the kit episode. We just talk all about various soccer kits that he's worn or whatnot. One was the England episode about his time in the England club and playing for Svensvorn and Eriksson. One was the transfer episode. One was the chance episode, the celebrations. And it's an open conversation where they just talk about the various things. And Crouchy's brilliant on it too. He is absolutely fantastic. If you get a chance, download that and have a listen. I think they're like 20 episodes in now, but I'd be curious to see the next one that comes out because he'll be over there in Turfmoor.
But he's on Burnley, and they're the ones who are just out of relegation.
Yes, they are.
I think that makes things very hard for Cardiff, Fulham, and Huddersfield.
Yeah, but
Burnley's going to be hard. I think Burnley's going to hang on.
I don't know if Burnley needed that signing, though. I think Huddersfield needed that signing. But Burnley has Sam Vokes. They have Chris Wood. They have some striking talent there. It's insurance, but
I like it because to me, it's also, even though Peter Crouch is 85 years old, it's still a little forward thinking too.
Yeah, I would have preferred them to sign a midfielder more so than for Burnley. That is, but yeah, nonetheless,
no midfielders all go to Arsenal. That's how that works.
Sure. Why not?
That's the rule. We have 80 midfielders. Right. That's how that works.
0 defenders.
80 midfielders. Chelsea's everyone out on loan. That is just staples and facts of the Premier League.
But very
someone out today,
right? But a very good win by Fulham. And speaking of defenders that Arsenal don't have anymore, Callum Chambers with the first goal in here. A very nice kind of half karate style kick for Chambers to get the scoring off. Mitrovic scored the next two, and then Vito scored the last one. Vito to make it 4-2, and a good win for Fulham. Hopefully that momentum carries on and they can find themselves some more points here and try to get above that red line before they hit 38 games on the year.
Crazy. And Fulham needs to keep this winning going, or at least some draws. They've only won 2 out of the last 5, and the other 3 matches were losses. So 2 of them you can understand. One was to Tottenham, one was to Arsenal. They probably should have beat Burnley, but they gave up an easy one at the end.
Yeah, but you're like, in 3 more matches, the way that Huddersfield looks like a guaranteed relegation, they don't get some points, they're going to be in the same boat.
Right.
Real quick.
Yep.
We got 14 matches left, something like that.
Yep.
I think that's right. This moves on, speaking of hopeless. Huddersfield at home hosting Everton. I mean, Everton scores real quick, and then they do something they've done a lot this season, is they get a red card.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the second half for them, it didn't affect the game because really
Huddersfield is just
their impetus on the attack. They don't have any. I
think the word
attacking.
you're looking for is flaccid.
Flaccid is a much better word. And much more fun to say.
A straight red at that.
A straight red at that, yes. For Digna, he's been very good for them this year. Probably their best signing in the offseason. But for Charleston goal that, in all honesty, could have been stopped, should have been stopped. It was stopped, but then it parried out, and he just put his rebound back in.
That's why you don't stop playing.
Right, and the Huddersfield goalie did very, very well, and for a majority of the game, and it just after that was pretty much it. And
what's
not a
crazy
whole lot to
is
say about this.
Huddersfield they pretty much outplayed Everton.
Yeah,
other than giving up that mistake goal, the third minute or something from Everton, they outplayed Everton for the rest of the match.
Yeah, but they don't have anybody to put the ball in the back of the net. That's where I said like a crouch would have helped with that. And this was the first game for new manager Jan Schuert, Siewert.
Say it again.
Schuert, right? Sounds about right.
Sounds good to me.
Right. Yeah, why not?
It's
He's a German football coach, so they love them some Germans over there. First game, you could tell it had an impact on the team for sure, but still not enough to get all 3 points or even a point out of this. And Huddersfield just looked doomed. So I think it's at this stage for them, you look to rebuild for next year to hopefully get yourself back up into the Premier League. Because right now, I think everybody probably thinks they're going down.
Look for the parachute payment. You're headed out.
Yep.
Good night, Irene.
Poor Sir Patrick Stewart. But it's okay. We're getting a new captain or Jean-Luc Picard show. So
are we?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
Oh, what? I'm so excited. Yeah, there's going to be 10 1-hour episodes of in real time. Is like whenever, I don't know, Next Generation, in the last movie was 2002. So this amount of time it's been to that. It's how long it's been in time of the show, and it's going to be what he's up to right now. It's not a captain. It says just Jean-Luc Picard.
I thought when you said in real time, I thought they were going to do like a 24.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too.
Oh, no,
exactly what I thought.
I meant like if it's been 16 years, whatever.
The
like
actual time that
Sutherland's going to be the new captain.
So I don't know.
Time lapse.
I don't know what he's doing, but yeah,
that's funny.
Doing a new show, so I'm excited about that.
What's it going to be on?
I'm not excited about this. Is that CBS All Access thing? The new Star Trek show's on where you have to subscribe, which is also kind of dumb because you could just wait till they all come out and then subscribe and then watch them all in a week and then unsubscribe. Yeah,
right. Or wait for the free trial.
Yeah. We're all just going to have 20 different subscriptions.
Exactly.
Nope. I'm just going to skip it.
Yeah. I don't know. I might get it long enough to watch Jean-Luc Picard. He's the best captain. The rest can suck it. All right.
Sure back.
This moves us on to the Wolves versus West Ham. Again, shocker.
Remember that time you were saying
West Ham's terrible.
Barreled? Yeah.
And the Wolves destroy them 3-0.
And just manhandle them. Manhandle them.
They were, West Ham might as well have not even shown up.
54%.
Again, why did you waste not playing all your starters for the FA Cup? Because they didn't do anything in this game.
Yeah, and I think West Ham a bit the locker room's probably been in a little bit of turmoil with the whole Arnautovic. Is he going to China? Is he not? He came out and said he's staying and he loves the club and he had to think about it, but now he's going to be back. And I mean, he was their main guy. He scored goals. He helped to create. And when a player like that, much like a Payet did a few years back for them, just has that, I don't know if it's the desire to move, but their head's turned and now they don't know, their mind's not on the team that they're currently on and their mind's not on the team they're possibly going to, but on everything else in between. I think that's kind of turned the team over a little bit here, and losing in the FA Cup, they bow out to what, a League One side? Is that what we were saying? And then,
yeah.
And they lose the Wolves, which is not a terrible thing because Wolves have had a very good season. They're back up to 7th, but you don't lose. You get smoke showed 3-0. Not good right now.
The Wolves outplayed them in every facet of the game except for clearances. They have 54% of the possession, 9 shots on target. Guess how many West Ham had?
1.
0.
Jeez.
And 20 shots total. The Wolves were just going for it.
And West Ham only had 4 shots total.
Yeah,
just
brutal. Good on the Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yeah. I really would like to see them stay up. And I'm pretty sure we will.
And Arnautovic was back in this game, but really had no impact and was subbed off for Chicharito. I don't know what minute that was in, but
77th.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I mean, West Ham's going to stay up. I don't think they're going to go down, but you'd like to see them play
West
a
Ham,
little bit better.
The new West Brom.
Minus Tony Pulis.
Yeah. We can just hang out somewhere in the middle. We'll be happy.
Yeah. Man, that beer was good.
Oh, it was really good.
We have one more.
Shall we
do it now?
Yeah, we're about almost halfway through these Premier League matches. If you'd like to
all righty.
Go to the next
so
one.
We'll
You're making a funny face. We don't have to.
No, I'm excited.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll take a pause before we move on.
So that one was the Moa Brewing Company Southern Alps White IPA. It won all those awards.
And again, probably one of the best beers I think we've had on this show.
Very, very good beer.
Easily.
Like, that's fantastic.
I might top it with the next one.
Well,
what?
Yeah.
All right, we've had that one from Belgium that's hard to get.
Was that the Westphalian?
Nice.
So I think
I remember it now because you guys just tore me apart when I did the beer bracket, and you're like, "We've had that before. How the f do you not remember?" I was like, "Oh my god, take it easy."
Is that how we sounded?
I don't remember this stuff.
Is that how we sounded?
Something like that.
Ugh.
I missed the World Cup beer challenge.
That was good, yeah.
Throat punch and whatever. Yeah. That list of beers.
Punch.
Yeah.
That was some great
There's still beers we have to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one, another worldly beer. This one is from the Canadas, in Ontario, Canada. There is Four Fathers Brewing Company. This is a pretty fun brewing company. Right off their website, a little bit about their story is few concepts are as old as beer and fatherhood. Some might even say that throughout much of human history, they have been irrevocably linked. And this is the story. It starts in 2009 in a small town in Ontario with 4 hockey dads and their 4 hockey sons. Artist, entrepreneur, corporate exec, and maverick all gather together to share a love of hockey and handcrafted, authentic, high-quality craft beers. So they basically all get together, form a brewing company, and kind of like we did with this podcast. You're all just sitting around having some beers. And one of them says, "Hey, we should just make our own." And poof, there it is. Today, Four Fathers Brewing Company is a hallmark of great craft beers in Canada, with rich beers with complex characters, and the personality of the brewing company is hysterical. So on their Facebook page, they put up a new beer alert introducing FBD beer, Fluffy Baby Duckies beer, a hybrid ale that fits into its own category. This beer uses, I can't pronounce it, Sactois as its yeast strain, a large variety of exciting hops, and has a rich body with a spelt of malt. Tastes light and fluffy with notes of melon, guava, underripe banana, and bubblegum. We've never kissed a baby duck before, but we imagine the experience would be quite similar.
Guava and bubblegum
is amazing.
So that's not the beer we have today. Sorry,
baby duck beer.
But I just the personality of this brewing company is hysterical. They have a beer that is called, I don't know, Margot.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah. So
they're doing
have
to have that beer.
I couldn't get a hold of that one, but I'm going to look for it.
We got to get that. I don't know, Margot.
Yeah, so great.
Is the carpet all wet, Todd?
I don't know, Margot. Anyway.
Oh, God, we have to get that.
Fantastic. We totally do. And when I read about that, I don't know, like an hour ago, I was just, I think I said it out loud. I was like, oh, damn it, I couldn't find that beer. So an interesting thing about Four Fathers Brewing from Ontario, Canada, is that they have these things called a Scratch Series. And the Scratch Series is essentially a very, very small batch of beer that they are, trying out. And the ones that really succeed, they'll start producing. So I happen to get my little fingers on a Scratch beer.
So they haven't announced if this is going to be one that they're going to produce yet.
You're right.
Huh.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
So another hard to get
So they
beer.
see how it goes. That's cool. I wish more places did that kind of. That's cool.
Yeah, they make a small batch. They put it out into the world. They see how well it sells, what people like, what people don't, and ding, then they can it or wash it down. So this one is probably in the top 3 best IPAs I've ever had in my life.
Interesting.
That's a high praise.
Because we just had a good one.
Yeah. Was that or was it a Belgian wit?
Well, it's a Belgian Wit IPA. It was both.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
This one is the Forefathers Scratch Series number 408. So this is the 4th iteration, the 8th recipe of this beer. The style is an IPA, 7.1 ABV, and it was bottled in December of 2018.
That's cool.
there's your bottle opener. I love that we. There we go. No performance anxiety.
2
for
times
Ron.
in a
He got it to
row.
work.
Look at you.
Shall I divvy these out again?
Sure.
Pass me whatever glasses you want me to use, gents. Stick with
Mine's
IPA.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just stick with it.
So check out forefathersbrewing.ca. There is a Forefathers Brewing in Illinois. This is not them. They have
Oh, and on the side, like it's a blank label in the sense that they stamp in what it is. I see.
correct.
Yeah.
It's not a mass produced. It's essentially their logo on the label, and then they have to either handwrite or stamp in, as you said. But they have 3 flagship beers, and one of them I have, but I'm saving till the end of the Premier League season because it's an amazing beer. They have a whole bunch of they have a Scottish ale called Gobshite, which is
Awesome.
pretty awesome. So yeah, this is a fun brewing company, lots of personality, really good beers, and this again is the Scratch beer and 7.1 ABV.
What's it called again?
It is the 4th iteration and the 8th recipe for this particular.
So it doesn't
IPA.
have a name.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't named it yet.
Remember, see the bottle real quick.
Yeah. They haven't named this one yet. There you go.
Easily in the top
Thank
3
you.
of IPAs, in my opinion. Oh, it smells so good.
I spilled a little bit on my desk.
Really good piney hop smell.
Oh, slap your mama. That smells good.
Stand for something good. It's on the side of their bottle. Shall we?
Cheers, gents. Cling. What?
Ooh, holy IPA. That's good.
That's
Doesn't taste like an IPA though.
that's very New Englandy IPA.
Yeah.
It's so juicy.
Yeah.
I like them.
But how smooth that is.
man. Very smooth.
You get so much. I'm going to sound like the beer douchebag, but on the nose, it's so floral and citrus hop. And then as you drink it, that hop just melts away.
Mm-hmm. You get hit with the hop hard at the front of the tongue as far as like that sort of fruity.
Yeah, but not that hard. Not
it's-
that hard.
But there's no bitter though, like on the
Right.
back of the tongue.
It
Right.
just
Yeah.
melts down. It's so good. Oh, this is.
Man, that's good.
I could live in a vat of this.
That's delicious. What else is delicious was this wonderful draw by Burnley against Manchester United. Because
Still a draw.
we needed Manchester United to slow down just a little bit
Thankfully,
on their 8-game win streak.
But this was a draw that felt like a win for Manchester United and a draw that felt like a loss for Burnley because
Yes.
Burnley countered well. They got Ashley Barnes and a Chris Wood goal in the 81st, and it was 2-0 Burnley in the 81st. I get it. It's at Old Trafford, but Burnley had to be disappointed and get out with the win here. And it was really the penalty given up, which was a stone cold penalty by Burnley. I don't remember who it was that gave it up, but just a very poor tackle, very poor decision. Burnley were defending so well. To dive in like that and to...
I think you got a smaller team getting tired against the top flight.
Yeah, because, I mean, United kept pushing. It was... Burnley got all men behind the ball.
This
and
was last year Burnley, by the way. That sort of stout defense, like holding the ball up,
yeah.
that we have not seen as much this year.
Jeff Hendrick was the one who gave up the penalty.
And from there, it brought a little bit of life into United. Not that they were lifeless, but it really had a good pump of life into them because Pogba stepped up, did his patented slow, boom, boot, scored the goal, and that was in the 87th.
Did he patent that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, a lot of people have to take their own steps towards it, but he makes it very obnoxious. Let's put it that way. It's a very obnoxious step.
That's the better word for it.
Correct. Oh, absolutely. The man
was obnoxious.
The man came out with an app emoji of himself. I love it. I have it.
I know because you send us all the emojis.
People off with it. Yeah. It's so obnoxious.
You send that to us too much.
But nonetheless, got a goal made at 2-1 in the 87th, and then a 90+2 goal from Victor Lindelof helped to get a point back for United and keep the winning, not the winning, but the
lack of
losing streak going. And Victor Lindelof, well, he got the goals. His first goal for the club, which is great. But since Solskjaer's come in, yes, Rashford has been on point, Pogba's been on point, so on and so forth. I mean, hell, even Sanchez got a goal in the FA Cup. But Lindelof has been a rock at the back. He's played every game, I think. He's been quick. He's good with the ball at his feet. Good decisions. Whether it's Bailly back there with him, Jones, whoever it is, he's been that one constant back there, and he's been playing so well. It's amazing how much confidence can change the team. I mean, we look dead to rights with Mourinho. Now we're 8-1-0 in the last 9 games since Ole took charge. Just he's pumped in confidence to this team and to everybody, not just the Pogbas of the world, to Victor Lindelof, who was looking to be one of the worst defenders, one of the worst signings that we've had. But no, this is what we brought him in to do. This is what he did at it was either Sporting or someplace in Spain, or not in Spain, in Portugal, and he's shown up to it, and I really hope it continues because he is a phenomenal defender when he's at the top of his game. And for me, I was talking to somebody the other day, it's almost a mix between, he has a mix between Rio and Vidic back there. He's tough, but he can move his feet and he can pass the ball very well. He doesn't have that straight toughness like a Vidic had, but he has that skill set at center back like Rio did. Now he's still very young, and you know that's comparing it to defenders at the club that'll go down, and as some of the best to ever play. But I really like the United team here. And again, this was a draw against Burnley, who's down there in 17th, but a draw that felt like a win, and that fight and that continuing to drive until the game.
And it keeps the argument going on of what everybody thinks they should do when it comes to managers at the end of the year.
Yeah, and we're still in the FA Cup. We're getting ready to take on a very tough stretch, though.
I do think Pochettino coming out and saying those cups are for vanity, the only thing that matters is being in the top 4, was not something that helped his case.
No,
as because you still have plenty of Man United fans who are like, hey, let's be careful. Look, if the guy's amazing and we want to keep him, great, but let's be careful and not make an emotional choice.
Correct, yes.
Make the right choice. That comment by Pochettino, you could see it across all the country in football. It dinged his shiny little surface because people were like, wait, what? You can't say things like that because the argument against you is even though you've done a lot, you can't seal the deal on any trophy.
Right.
So if that's your comment,
right,
and you could see it pumped, I feel like if he doesn't get the job, we will look back to that comment in his press conference as that's like if you're interviewing and you got 3 candidates in front of you and they're all so close and that one says something that's just a little off and makes you move on to the next guy. To me, that's what that felt like. It seemed like a really dumb comment.
Yeah,
but I'm not,
especially since a team like Manchester United is going after every single one.
They want
of
all
those.
of them.
Yeah, right.
So why would you? I agree with you. I don't know why you differentiate yourself in that way.
And Tottenham has had a team in the last few years that, to be honest, Why haven't they won an FA Cup?
Why haven't they gone for it?
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, even when it was frustrating and it was like some of those end days with Wenger, he still took Arsenal again to the FA Cup and things. And they were, you know what I mean? There still was a desire to do something. I don't know. And I know they're still in the Champions League. Don't get me wrong, but it was just an odd comment. I know that we all say, there's is the FA Cup that important? Do you want to like that? Yada, 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 yada. That debate comes up. I just don't think in public you say that.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Now, I think if you are, I still think it would be weird if it came from like a Pep Guardiola or somebody, but you could at least say he's got trophies. Do you know what I mean? So if his thing is like, I focus on this, I don't know. No, I don't think it sounds weird coming from any coach. It's such a weird, and when he said that, I just felt like, oh man, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants this job, he might get it.
Well, how do you say that again?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Christian Pulisic.
No, I agree with that, and there's ways that managers have gotten around that before, right? We want to see how the kids do. We really trust that they can play well in these cups. It's basically saying we're trying to fold, right? Or we're not trying to, right? But it's not coming out and saying what Poch did. So there's other ways to go about it, and I think that was probably a little bit of frustration from Poch. He just got knocked out of the cup. He has injuries galore now, which he's really not had in the past few seasons for Tottenham. He's not really getting a whole lot of wins, and they're not playing the style that they want.
But it is setting Tottenham up, who at this point, they are 7 from the top. To me, you're in the title race numbers-wise, but the public still only looks at it like it is Liverpool and Man City. Only 14 games, 7 points, but nobody gives them the fear or the respect that they probably should deserve. However, even though there's a ton of injuries, we're dealing with the same thing of a almost ran Spurs again. And it sucks if it's injuries and what have you. And I don't know. It's like a microcosm. It's a much shorter run of the Wenger situation the last like 5 or 6 years, but it's more compact, and I understand. But and again, I still think Poch is a really good coach and everything. I wonder if this got in his head. You wonder if this whole like,
I'm sure
this Man United thing, and now he's not. I don't know. Like, it's just,
I'm sure,
because there's definitely been a difference in him post conference since the word was, well, they're going to get an interim because we're looking for the right coach. It's Pochettino. Ever since that happened, I don't know. It's interesting to see how
and I think for United, the course is staying where you need to. You stick with the plan. That's what we discussed a few weeks back. Is you stick with the plan. You see how the season turns out, and then you make a decision from there. Right now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer
and his team, let's be honest too. It's him and the other two gents.
Is making a strong argument for making them permanent
and doing it easy. That's the weird thing. Like, no pressure, no. And yeah, I know he's coming as an interim, so you could say, well, what pressure does he have?
Right.
But he's just so freaking. He looks like he belongs in the top flight of Premier League instantly. Like,
but he played there for years. And
that's true.
And he grew and learned under one of the best who ever managed the game, and Sir Alex. And that's who's at his side right now.
Yeah, but let's all have a little bit of perspective. With Manchester United under the great one there, they couldn't go anywhere but up. So even
but if this is up.
Yeah, but even if they finish right where they are right now in the season, it's a win.
Yeah.
Right. So he doesn't have that much pressure because they couldn't really have gotten worse.
Well, they were at 6. I mean, they're still at 6. They've been at 6 the entire time. Well, they haven't varied from that. But the feel and the mentality is so much different. The style of play, the energy, the excitement.
Where I would disagree and say
Trafford was excited for this.
Well, and that's where I would disagree and say there is pressure. I think he starts the thing with what you just said. But I think as each week goes and more people go, man, maybe they should just keep this guy. That's where the pressure would start to mount of, man, am I playing for this job now?
And it could, because the next run of games for United in the next month are tough. We start a Champions League campaign, which is a home and away against PSG. We have Man City this month. We have Liverpool this month, and Chelsea in the FA Cup. So it's going to be a rough month. It's going to be fun though, and I'm excited to see what the teams can do against them. Just today, no big signings came in. However, Martial signed a 4-year extension with the club, which is
nice.
Positive. And I think it's okay because you're seeing that we do have talent in every aspect and every position of the field. Can you improve on that? Yeah, sure. But why do that now, right? You don't know, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be the manager there and where we'll essentially be at the end of the year. Will we be in Champions League? Will he be our manager? Will Zidane be the manager? Will Poch be the manager? Will we not be in Champions League? We don't know that yet. So why go out and spend something now when the team looks to be playing very fluid and cohesive together with confidence behind them? Why try to upset that right now with bringing in somebody that...
Is Fellaini going though, speaking of that?
No, I don't think the move actually went through.
Probably going to happen this summer then, I bet.
Yeah. Was it a Chinese club or a Saudi Arabia team? Yeah. So, but that if you have people leave, that's one thing, because Fellaini really hasn't played any part of Solskjaer's
once he
game
cut his
plan
hair.
here. Yeah, it was all that.
Yeah, he was like Samson, man.
Right. But and for Burnley, they're 4 points off the bottom, and with Crouch coming in, I think they can do just enough. And you have Barnes and Woods and Crouch. Their defense seems to be playing a lot better because they withheld for a large proportion of this game.
Hopefully in at the right time.
Hopefully Burnley can, and then what do you say, 14 games left, get some more points and kind of slowly get up the table and just be above that red line by the time the year ends.
Speaking of folks being above the red line, I don't think this is a game that we thought they would give themselves some space. But Newcastle gets to move all the way up to 14th with 24 points because they beat Man City.
They sure as hell did. And then they signed Miguel Almiron from Atlanta United.
Yep. So curious to see how he is going to do in the Premier League. Man City played terrible in this game.
Yeah, they just weren't themselves.
Pep was not happy at all. You could tell on the sidelines.
I feel like this is the difference, even though I know it's a close points between them and Liverpool. The difference between them and Liverpool right now is even when Liverpool isn't playing well, they figure out a way to make something happen. That's always the difference with the championship teams. Man City, if they aren't playing well, they might lose. And they've lost 4. And I saw there was some stat like once you get to like 5 or more losses, you don't usually see people that win the Premier League. I'm not saying they're all victories. There could be draws in there and everything else too. Sure. But I don't know.
And what's weird,
they just off though.
Yeah, they are. And what's weird is they started off good. They scored the fastest goal in the Premier League in a long time with 24 seconds off the clock and a Guerrero goal. And then they just they couldn't get anything going. They dominated on possession. They were 70% or something like that.
76.
76. Wow. And a dumb penalty to kind of seal the game. A pretty good Salomon Rondon goal. Thank you for showing up for a change. And net yourself a goal, but a very good win for Newcastle because that stretches them just up to 14th and on 24 points and gives them that's 5 points between them and the bottom at the time. So they need to keep getting some of these points. And this is one that they weren't probably expected to. I mean, nobody thought, and one that they weren't thinking they would get points on. Well, you got all 3. So now don't drop them against the Huddersfields of the world and so on as you go on. Continue to build upon that. Keep getting some points, just enough so that you're going to be safe. But a very good win here for Newcastle.
I think the thing that Newcastle did, which I guess could have been part of their tactical game plan, the midfield and the defenders stacked up in such a way that they really made Manchester City's attacking core play sideways.
Oh, they did I almost felt like a Jose Mourinho. We are going to park the bus and try to get a counter. But and it worked for them.
Yeah, they made them play side to side to the point where any shot they were taking was usually a little more outside and dragged way wide or way high. And that's what's interesting about that is that you never see that style of defensive play coming out of Newcastle. So is that a serendipitous move? Or was it tactical and planned? I don't know. But that tactic worked very well against Manchester on that day.
All I know is everybody in the top 6 was Thank you, God.
Right. Right.
Like, you're making this more interesting.
And I think it's a very good week for them because not only do they win and get some big points here, but again, sign Miguel Almiron, and that might be what they need because they do need somebody in that midfield that can create.
It'd be cool to see someone from MLS do something.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of expect him to do good things. He might not. The Premier League is more physical, and not in the MLS you had a lot more room to run and get out to the wings and get into pockets without getting a big tackle on you, or you having like a Conte behind you, anything like that. So
you might
very good
see
signing
how well he turns out next year compared to this year.
Yeah,
it's going to take a little bit to get
this year. I think he's going to struggle just a little bit with service, especially that midfield does not have a lot of creativity.
Well, no, I think he's going to be the one trying to provide the service, and he's going to be the one that they're bringing in to try to create that.
That's going to be a trick.
Oh, also,
because Solomon Rondon has been lackluster most of this season, and maybe that's because he's not getting the service.
Right.
But also, when he's on the games where he's had his chances, he doesn't always get them, and they need that from him. Otherwise, they're gonna be sinking.
Yes, indeedy.
Speaking of sinking, let's move on to this next match.
What is the next?
Take it away, Ron.
Vitality Stadium.
Jesus.
Home of the Cherries, the mighty, mighty Bournemouth, who I love. Everybody's doing their pictures on Facebook of the 10-year challenge, what I liked 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And they put theirs up.
Right.
And how they were almost out of the National League and out of the FA entirely. That's crazy. And then, it had them on the table.
Not out of the FA, but out of the football league.
The football league, yeah. And so you had the two, it had the two tables next to each other for their 10 years.
Yeah, that was pretty
crazy. Crazy. But I mean, Bournemouth, this is what they can do at home. And boy, they love to attack.
But the first half,
lackluster Chelsea just got stormed upon.
All these goals were the second half.
Yeah, Chelsea had two exquisite looks on goal in the first half.
Mm-hmm. But so did Bournemouth, actually. There was a little tit for tat there in that first half.
Yeah,
I had a couple of shots on goal as well.
Yeah, but I don't think they were as...
I don't know, that header that got saved was pretty good.
That was Chelsea.
That was, yeah.
No, but wasn't there a header too from Bournemouth that got saved?
No, the one that I just watched was from the... Yeah.
But Chelsea had two brilliant looks on goal. One was an incredible save. Kovacic has a glancing header on, and their keeper, whose name's failing me at the moment.
Your formerly old keeper, Asmir Begovic.
Thank you. He tips it right into the crossbar, and then we had another look that just misses the corner. And then after that, Chelsea
collapsed like a flan in a cupboard.
David Luiz had a horrid game in this.
Yeah.
Horrid game.
Just looking around, watching people run past him. Very
feet were wrong. I mean, just a whole number of things. And then did he get smacked on the face in this game with the ball too? And
so that's something that was interesting. If you were on Twitter, so a lot came out of this, which I thought was kind of correct. David Luiz takes a blast to the side of the head and allegedly was knocked out for like 2.5 seconds. The physios come out, they check him out, they take him off the field, they put him right back on. JJ Watt from the USA's NFL he basically comments and says, so this guy gets knocked out on the field and is allowed to return 3 or 4 minutes later. But I guess the concussion protocols are a little different overseas. And so Arlo White had a really good, response to this, which was if that were to happen to a player before you are going to send him back on, you should be allowed to put in a sub under that time until those players could switch out, because it would take the pressure off the player for having to get back in.
That's true. If you're going to,
right.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting, because
if you're going to be serious about a concussion protocol, you would have to allow an immediate temporary sub.
Correct.
And if the sub stays permanent, you've lost your, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yep. But maybe that's one of the reasons that David Luiz played so terribly because his bell was rung so early on.
But everybody scored for Bournemouth.
But we were just...
That stadium went nuts.
It was unacceptable play from this team.
What was it, the worst loss since 96 Chelsea's had?
In the league, I believe.
Yeah, and the second worst was being blanked 3-0 by AFC Bournemouth.
And the last one in the 95th minute or 96 or whatever.
Yeah, that
fantasy points for me.
That cheesy but perfectly targeted glancing header.
Who scored that?
So Charlie Daniels.
The Blue Devil went down to Bournemouth. He was looking for 3 points to steal. He was in a bind. He was way behind. He was willing to make a deal. When he came across this young man kicking a soccer ball and playing it hot, the Blue Devil jumped up on a pie shop and said, "Boy, let me tell you what. I guess you didn't know it, but I'm a soccer player too. And if you care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you." And he played pretty good footy, boy, but give the devil his due. I bet a soccer ball of gold against your soul think I'm better than you. The boy said, "My name's Charlie, and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet. You're going to regret because I'm the best it's ever been." Charlie, you warm up them legs and play that sucker hard, because hell's broke loose and Bournemouth and Blue Devil plays it hard. But if you win, you'll get this shiny ball made of gold. But if you lose, the devil will get your soul. Blue Devil bowed his head because he knew that he'd been beat, and he laid that golden ball at the ground at Charlie's feet. Charlie said, "Come on back, everyone, and try again. As I told you once, you son of a bitch, I'm the best it's ever been." Yes, and he's got the Bournemouth jersey on under his Man U jacket. Go, Ferris.
Oh, well done, Blake. That was brilliant. You need to put that on our Facebook or something. That is fantastic.
That was brilliant, but you both.
That is brilliant.
Well done, US.
Wow.
Oh, man.
How long have you had that one going for?
He wrote it right before the podcast.
No, that's not true.
You did.
There's no way you wrote it
I
for the
finally
podcast.
wrote it on paper so that I wouldn't screw it up.
Okay.
But I have had this in my this morning in the shower.
Yeah, you got
it popped in my head. And because I had I was playing the Premier League highlights and stuff, listening, and I was like, oh man, and Charlie Daniels was like, Charlie Daniels. Wait a second. So all day long, I just
that's brilliant.
I love it.
Good job.
Well done. Yeah, we have to get that on something so everybody can see those lyrics. That's well done, Blake.
Good job.
Ron, what do you think?
That's why I was like, we're gonna do FA Cup first. Damn it.
Sorry, that's a good one.
We should have gone out on that.
Well, why didn't you tell me that? We could have.
It was worth the wait. It was worth the wait.
Ron, what do you think of newest signing to Chelsea, Mr. Gonzalo Higuain?
So, I think this is a bit of a long story, but I will try and be brief. I think this is, I'm going to roundabout answer your question, but I promise I'll get there. I think this is pretty unacceptable play by Chelsea. I think it was an interesting gamble for Sarri to come and call them out 2 weeks ago. But I think he was right. A lot of the punditry say he was wrong and that this is going to be
There was a small group that was pretty.
I think it was the right thing to do, because we've seen this from this Chelsea team on numerous occasions. I think he's right that they're hard to motivate and that they just kind of expect that they're going to go out and win and that they don't care when they don't. At a 4-0 shellacking at Vitality Stadium, the players should have been, hey, thanks to the traveling Chelsea fans, and out. But they weren't. They were just kind of yucking it up on the field, shaking hands with the other players, trading jerseys. Didn't seem to faze that they lost 4-0. I don't think Higuain is going to make that big of a impact when the team plays like this.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get to see what it would mean, because and Eden Hazard's weird interview.
Yeah.
About I frustrate coaches. I'll frustrate this one. I'll frustrate other ones because I'm not going to drop back. I don't want to do that. I don't like.
To be honest, I am kind of the mind. Willian doesn't want to be there. See ya. Hazard doesn't want to be there. See ya.
But if they get rid of Sorry, I don't think that's fair. I think that's the players making him get fired.
Again.
Correct.
Not Sorry fired again, but
Yes.
the players seemingly having something to do with it.
Which you got to fix that. You need to dump this team.
Yeah, and while Gonzalo Higuain has a wonderful CV and is a poacher for goals, we were talking about it. Yes, they need a number 9 to come in and score those goals, but I don't know if this is the number 9 you need. I go back to the argument we had a few weeks back with Jamie Vardy. I think is that guy that you should have brought in because he offers more of a threat than Higuain does. While Higuain has a good shot and plays more of that number 9 role, Vardy offers you a threat. He offers you pace. He offers you running in the channels. He offers a little bit of bite, a little bit of toughness, beers, chips, a pack of smokes on the plane. Absolutely. He offers you a lot more that will trouble defenses and have center backs wondering. Higuain's not the fastest. He's not the quickest off the ball. He's not the best in getting in the channels. Yes, he can poach goals and he has a good shot, but I don't know if that's quite what Chelsea needed. He only played two games, right? So it's not,
and only parts of both of those.
Right.
Games.
He started this game. He started the FA Cup game.
Right.
I don't know if he started.
Didn't he start this one because Giroud came in?
He might have. Yeah.
He did.
So it's still, but yeah, Ron, I agree. Like I don't. I mean, do you think Chelsea will end up in the top 4?
No, not if they keep playing like this.
Well, yeah, that's true. They have more than capable to be in the top 4.
Sure, they have. They have the talent on paper. But here's going back to what I said earlier. If you don't want to play at Chelsea, sell them and move on. Sell them for as much as you can get and move on. You need new blood in Chelsea that's hungry for titles, for competition, for scoring goals. And this team just doesn't have it. And the fault that rests in Sarri's hands, in my opinion, is that he's bringing in players that played well for him on other teams in the past. Yes, Higuain played well for him in the past. Jorginho played well for him in the past. It's not about bringing your friends.
You don't think maybe though it's more about trying to get the locker room to be a better situation in that case? Like he's trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
sure, but when the talent that is or was producing for that team, one guy, maybe 2, they're not going to be a force against the wall of
Eden Hazard.
Well, Eden Hazard, Pedro, and N'Golo Kante, Jorginho, no, Willian, thank you.
Willian, yeah.
One guy's really not going to do much against that. If those players all want to move, then they should. And we need new blood. The other thing I think Sarri is not doing to help the team is that he is not changing the formation or the player positioning or the formation to help the team succeed.
That's true. He made subs and continued to get beat by goal after goal, but did not change the formation.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Does he get fired? Sorry, leave. Is he like, this sucks? Who wants to hire me?
I mean, Abramovich still is the owner, so yeah, he very well could get fired.
Yeah.
But
also, all of this just proves Antonio Conte correct. Looking in the rear view mirror of this, all this does is show that Antonio Conte was right.
Oh yeah, he said that it was a toxic situation.
Mourinho said the same thing though.
Yeah, but Mourinho he's just as big of a problem though.
It's the same
I'm
thing.
saying, but if you look at where Mourinho has been elsewhere, he is just as big of a problem. So
yes,
so people when he said it, don't necessarily.
He was beloved at Chelsea though.
Yeah, he was.
He absolutely was, and he's saying the exact same thing that Sarri said, and the exact same thing that Papa, not Sarri. Who was the one before that?
Antonio Conte.
Thank you. He's saying that they're all saying the exact same thing. So at what point, fool me once, shame on me. At what point is it actually the players? And I heard a pundit say, I don't remember who it was, but it's almost like when this team is in the hunt, when they're first, second, and they have a chance to win
this
something.
was on the 2 Robbies.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's they're all for it. They're all about it. They go full force at it. But if they kind of fall off a bit, it's like
they end the season in 15th or whatever like that. Yeah.
I'm not up for it. We'll go into the game. I think that's true because we're seeing that. And we've seen it. We've seen this game play out 3 different times now.
Yeah, and it's just a disgrace. The other thing that these players are doing, while world-class players, that people are going to notice this. Other teams are going to notice this. If Hazard or Willian is bought and put on another team and they're not performing, they're going to get bounced pretty fast because this is now 3 different coaches over multiple seasons where these guys are playing so lackluster. And when they're kind of 12-year-olds, when they're not getting their way, when things aren't going right, they're just kind of pouting in the corner. And it's a really bad situation to have your attacking core that's just so ho-hum about things. I mean, I remember when we were talking about Willian scoring the winning goal a number of weeks ago, and I said, "Did you see? Yeah, did you see the way Willian celebrated it?" He was like, "Man, okay." There's a lot of problems at Chelsea, and I think the only way to deal with this is to let them go. If they don't want to be there, Hazard has said many times, and I think Sarri had the right game plan when he said, "Do you want to stay or do you want to go? Because I don't want to deal with these problems."
Should I stay or should I go?
Have we not had a headline that was like, Sarri thinks his players are prima donnas, sorry, not sorry? Have we not had that?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Should have had one of those.
So I make stupid FA Cup games. That's why.
Dose. So
I rewrite songs.
You write the songs,
twice.
Not me.
Wait, what was the other one? Oh, the Good King Henry scores a lot. Whatever from Christmas ago or 2. Yeah.
So Chelsea needs a lot of help. If they continue the season this way,
they will make me so happy, and they will let Arsenal maybe try to end in the top 4. I love it.
On a positive note, Bournemouth look like they will once again stay in the Premier League. They're only 7 points from that proverbial 40 mark and staying up. And I mean, really, does anybody think that Bournemouth's going to go down? No.
Another
time in the Premier League.
Chunk
How
of
awesome
money
is that?
For, what is it? Vitality Stadium holds 12,000.
Yeah. So cool.
And now they're going to be going to how many years in the Premier League? Like,
this will be their 3rd or 4th. Well, I think this might be their 3rd.
That's so awesome.
Crazy.
The weird question is, going back to Chelsea real quick. How does Chelsea's next 4 games measure up? They play Huddersfield Town, they play Manchester City, then Tottenham, then Fulham.
When's the Fulham game?
March 3.
See, that's the one where
isn't there an FA Cup game somewhere in there between? They
might be.
I'm just talking,
in there somewhere. Yeah.
I'm just talking
in the league. Yeah.
In the league.
But
so that's
the
a
FA
tough run
Cup
too.
is the exact kind of game. I mean, the Fulham match is exactly kind of where they would like draw or something that they shouldn't.
It's entirely possible that they could draw or lose all 4 of these matches.
You know, today with that match today, even Huddersfield, I don't think they'd score, but it'd be 0-0. Like, that's how that would have to go.
It's either that or the Chelsea team really, really hate their 3rd kit because they suck so bad whenever they wear that 3rd kit.
I still love that you had that Bournemouth jersey on under your Manchester United.
I did.
And you've been waiting.
The funny thing was we sit down to eat earlier and I take off my jacket, it's starting to get warm, and he just looks at me and gives me the bird from across the table. He's just like, "You ass." Like, you knew what you were doing. I was like, you're damn right. I still have this lovely Bournemouth kit that we all got the first year they were in the league. It's still a beautiful kit.
It's a great kit.
Yeah.
Just not when they're and it wasn't even our fault. Their fault. You know, Chelsea just played so
and Arsenal and Bournemouth were on fire.
Josh King, David Brooks, what a signing for them. I mean, he's been scoring all year. And then the Devil went down to Georgia himself. Charlie Daniels coming in off the bench too. He didn't even start the game.
Yeah, he was
injured for a while, so he finally came back.
2 minutes and scored.
Yeah,
got
me some fantasy points though. All right,
whatever.
Son of Begovic is 4th in our fantasy league now.
Yeah, you've been cranking up. This was a good week for me. I scored a lot of points.
I had 76, I think.
I have not had a chance to mess with any of it. So I was in like 3rd place and now I'm probably in last.
I will give you an update real quick. Stand by. Hold for show.
I think I'm up to 10th or 9th or something.
Ron, you're at 8th. Blake, you're at 9th. Yeah. I'm at 4th.
I have tumbled.
Yeah. Had a good week. This next match, they both
6-pointer.
Yeah, it was Southampton and Crystal Palace. They both score a goal. They walk away with a point each. They both are have 23 points. Crystal Palace -9 goal differential, -15 for Southampton. They are 15th, 16th place. They both really needed a win. They only got a point. But
the ideal result for them.
As poopy as some of the teams below them were playing, though, points a point. And
I think the headline from this is Wilfred Zaha and his silly antics into getting a double yellow,
which means he's
into
suspended.
a red.
Yeah, just not,
what a dumb thing for him to do.
He scored the goal earlier, and
to be honest,
they need him to stay up. And
Crystal Palace should have won this game on paper.
Yep.
I think they have a better team, but yeah, you do that.
Ralph Huschenheidel or whatever his name is for Southampton. Yeah,
Andy
still continues to get points for Southampton, but and then the headline I had down: did you expect anything different?
No, not really.
I really didn't.
And that's that.
All right, moving on.
Moving on to another 1-1 game.
A good
Surprising 1-1 game too.
Liverpool, Leicester City, 1-1 draw.
And Liverpool failed to capitalize because if you remember
the last time Man City lost, they also did not, right? They drew.
I don't know about that, but with the game we just talked about earlier with Newcastle and Man City lost points. It's a chance for them to continue to bridge, or not to bridge, but continue to expand that gap there, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't. And they started off early as well. These early goals this week were not helpful for a lot of teams. Sadio Mane in the third, and then
in the snow.
And then kind of a controversial few minutes here. A lot thought that Harry Maguire should have been sent off for his challenge. I don't remember quite who that was on, but one of those last men defending type challenges. And then right before half, nets in a goal.
Yep.
And Liverpool fans aren't too happy with that at the moment. But in fairness, Liverpool have had their fair share of good breaks this year. We all remember against Everton bouncing off the crossbar 14 times and then coming down. So this is the way the game goes at times. But a good draw for Leicester, bad draw for Liverpool.
But still a point.
Yeah.
I still feel good. I still feel good about Liverpool. I still think they're the difference in this game is they still make sure they get the point. And when Man City's got an off game, that's not necessarily the case. They do not walk away with any kind of result. I think it's the difference between the two clubs at the time. It's riddled with injuries, as we were talking about Pochettino earlier. This is a good win for Tottenham over Watford, 2-1.
And they needed Son back in this game, and they got him. Courtesy of a South Korea loss in the
they were happy when that happened.
Cup, no, they're not the African Asian Cup. Thank you. Yep. In the 80th, a nice goal from him. They needed that, and then Fernando Llorente, who has had his fair share of chances since Kane went out, but has not really been able to net or have that same scoring consistency that Kane has. Finally got the winner in this in the 87th. Yeah.
Cross
and
net.
you can just tell it was kind of just a release of thank God one finally went in for me.
But these injuries are going to plague them for a bit. This is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, Harry Kane's out for a bit.
Yeah, Kane's out. Ali's out.
I have a kind of a quick funny story about Harry Kane. So I'm at a kind of a board meeting today.
This was going to sound like, and then freaking Harry Kane walked to the bar and sits next to me. Like,
so it's not that exciting. So we're in this meeting and we're all getting ready to start. And my boss, who's a vice president, starts the meeting and then stops and goes, "Oh, wait," and looks at me and goes, "So 2 degrees of separation, right? My wife's friend is a rehab trainer and, like a physio. And I found out yesterday that she works on Harry Kane. So she's gone for 2 months so she can go rehab Harry Kane."
What's her name? Is she from Gibraltar?
Right. Yes. The Gibraltar goddess.
Yep. So I thought that was pretty funny. Just, here's my boss starting this, big meeting. And then, oh, by the way,
2 degrees of separation.
Wow.
But I thought that was pretty funny.
But yeah, a really good win here for Tottenham. A really good win, but a much needed win.
Based on the rest of the results, they needed to get some points.
This win was we won for Tottenham.
And keep them 7 points from the top.
Yeah, it took them 80 minutes to score. They were down for, I don't know, almost 40 minutes in this match. And while they had a few chances, Llorente, as Ferris was just saying,
he sailed one over earlier in the game.
Sailed them over, dragged them wide, missed them entirely. So Tottenham, as you said, really needed Song back, and I think they'll be much better. I think they'll be okay now that Song is back, because that creativity's back. That I don't know about you, but I thought when Song was out, the team didn't look as fun. They didn't look like they were having as much fun while he wasn't there. He brings an extra something to this team that allows them to have more fun. And therefore, just like in the example of Manchester United, when they're having fun, they're scoring, they're doing well.
They need to give him some money to pad this bench.
He is certainly their X factor, without question. However, his partnership with Kane is what really drove Tottenham forward. They account for something like 40 or 50% of their goals this year between those two. So with one being out and both being out for a while, they weren't scoring goals.
What's the stat if Harry Kane isn't playing? They only win 30% of their games. There was some crazy stat, it's not good if Harry Kane's not there.
But I think in order for when both of them were out, it was a drought. Mm-hmm. There wasn't anything going on.
Right.
So Song coming back really, I think, gives them a boost out of what they used to have, and will give the team some confidence for the possible return of Kane toward the end of the season.
Return of the Kane.
Return of Kane.
Return of the King.
In a world.
We got to Photoshop the Return of the King poster.
But Watford really was doing pretty well in this, and then seemed to lose it at the end. But
they still stood up there in ninth on a -1, which they got from this game. But
they're not hurting.
Nope, they're not. They're having themselves a good year, and let's see if Tottenham can push those top two teams here.
And that wraps us up for our Premier League conversation. We had some moves we talked about. Almiron, we talked about Suarez coming.
A lot of MLS moves.
Yeah.
I was actually going to read the list, but my computer just died.
Giovinco gone on loan to a Saudi club.
Oh, yeah. I did not catch that.
He's gone. Almiron's gone. Joseph Martinez for Atlanta signed an extension earlier in the summer. There was one big one, I thought.
Michi Batshuayi goes to Crystal Palace.
He does. Yep. That was another MLS one that was weird.
That's a good pickup for Crystal Palace, actually.
Yep. Especially
if Zaha being out for a game or two.
Better attitude.
Yeah. But kind of exciting time. The window just closed today. So I can't think
of 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Right. Crouch came in for Burnley. We already talked about that a little bit.
Still the best reveal video.
Yeah, it was. If you get a chance to see that. Very good.
I didn't see it.
I thought there's a couple other big ones. Gonzalo Higuain makes the move, as we talked about earlier. That's a big signing for the Premier League.
The Johnny staying at the Wolves is now permanent.
Oh, that's right, because he was on loan with Barca or something? Or from Barca?
Antonio, did you say Antonio Barreca moves to Newcastle?
No, I didn't.
Yep.
They signed that.
Leicester City acquires Monaco's Yuri Telemans.
That was another good one.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Crouch, which we talked about.
I want to watch Oscar the Grouch do an episode with Peter the Crouch.
See what you did there.
I just think that's what needs to happen.
Liverpool winger Lazar Markovic goes to Fulham right at the very end.
Didn't Liverpool, not Stanislas, Dominic Solanke signed with somebody earlier in the oh Lord,
haven't seen that yet.
Oh, and then did you guys see this? The club record signing for Cardiff City. You see that story? I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but flew back to France to say goodbye to his teammates.
Oh, yeah. And then we hadn't done an episode.
And then the plane
disappeared on the English Channel.
And they've searched for a few days and then finally called it quits because the odds are just so
it was literally just him and the pilot, right?
That he's even survived. And it's just so sad. And you're like wondering, like, this day and age, how can a plane just disappear? Like, how can we not find it?
It was a small one. I mean, it was a public, but 19 million or what was the signing? It was a... It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot for them. I'm trying to find.
But he flew home. You had to go see his old team, say goodbye.
Yeah, it was a team in France that he was playing for. It's just so sad. Emiliano Sala, well, actually, 19 hours ago, I'm seeing a story saying the wreckage from Cardiff Strikers' missing plane found on beach in France. Officials say. But yeah, what a sad story. Because you know, that's, oh man, crazy.
Yeah, that sucks. Maybe there'll be more details unfolding.
Yeah,
but if it's washed up on shore, that isn't usually good,
right? And it was backed by like a. I was trying to find the actually how much the club signed up for. They had a GoFundMe that has raised a lot of money for Cardiff. But yeah, he was there. Going to come in and be their record signing and hopefully get some goals for them. And, you know, if he's even alive, that would be a miracle at this point.
Oh. Yannick Bolasie leaves Everton, goes on loan to Anderlecht.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah, Dominic Solanke went somewhere. I don't remember where he went, but I thought that was a good signing for wherever he went. Just don't remember where he went.
Yeah, that's about the notables.
It was a couple of big moves, but not a crazy transfer window.
Not the craziest we've seen, but and I didn't get a chance to watch, but with the merger of NBC and Sky Sports now, or Comcast and Sky Sports, NBC Sports and the Premier League team had a transfer day deadline show today that covered 2 hours. That was like a live feed with Sky. I didn't get a chance to watch that, but I'll try to catch it, and it'd be interesting. And I'm sure they talked about a lot of good stories and much more intellectual in the game than we are.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about Shrewsbury over here.
You mean Rebecca Lowe isn't going to be singing "Devil Went Down to Georgia"?
No, but I would absolutely love it if she did.
Wouldn't that be great?
I choked on the rest of the amazing beer.
Well, I think that wraps us up. Find us on Twitter at Brewtiful Game. Find us on Untapped so we can see what beers you're drinking, what beers we're drinking. We got to put these beers on Untapped. Also, go to our website, thebrutifulgame.com, where you can get in touch with us all sorts of different ways. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and on any of those places. If you would please leave us a review. I think we just got one that we sent someone out to recently. Yep. But get a screen grab of it, email it to us or a private message on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, and we'll get a koozie and a magnet out to you.
Dominic Solanke, Samsonite. Playing for Bournemouth now.
How the
hell did I forget that?
Yeah. Samsonite. I was way off. I think that wraps us up.
Almost.
What's the last thing?
A Blake dad joke.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
No, you're going into your pocket. That's not a good thing.
Yep, go in the pocket.
Not the book.
Oh, not the book, because got a good one. Sometimes we do listener beers. Sometimes we got listener jokes.
Oh,
we sent this one in.
Don't you worry about it. Well, actually, it was sent by, it's a very famous person wrote this. And then our listener sent it to us.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys, wait a minute, actually, this is not the joke, but you need to know this information. Did you guys know that from Star Trek, as we talked about Captain Picard earlier, he has, canonically speaking in the Star Trek stories, Mr. Spock has 3 ears.
Huh.
Yeah. The left ear, the right ear, and the final front ear.
Oh my God.
That was written by Stephen King and sent to us by Matt Call.
Of course.
Of course. Thanks, Matt.
Jesus. I like to even send it to my private or to my personal Twitter so you guys wouldn't see it. But on January 29th, Stephen King wrote that. Just want to throw that out there. High class dad joke. Terrible. Yeah.
Well done.
I love it.
Oh, man.
All right, gents, here we go.
Yep.
Love the beer. Cherish the game. The Brewtiful Game.
I'm so unfulfilled by that joke.
So illogical.
Brr, 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 brr.